Hello and welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, a channel dedicated to providing insights and practical advice for navigating life's journey, especially for those of us over 40. This week, we're delving into a profound concept: let it be, not just as a timeless song by the Beatles, but as a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by life's challenges? Do you yearn for peace amidst the chaos? If so, then this video is for you. We'll explore the wisdom behind these simple words and how they can transform your perspective on life, helping you find serenity in the face of adversity. And if you find value in what we share, please consider liking and subscribing to Wisdom and Wealth. We would really appreciate it. It will help this community grow, and bring these messages to those looking for guidance in their lives. Buddhism, at its core, acknowledges a fundamental truth: life is filled with suffering. This isn't a pessimistic view, but a realistic one. Whether it's physical pain, emotional distress, loss, or disappointment, suffering is an unavoidable part of the human experience. Over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha identified this universal reality and laid out a path to understand and overcome it. This path begins with the Four Noble Truths, the bedrock of Buddhist wisdom. The first truth simply states, suffering exists. From minor inconveniences to major crises, no one is immune. But Buddhism doesn't stop there. It invites us to look deeper. Do these ideas resonate with you? Are you enjoying what you have heard so far? If so, please click like and subscribe to our channel on Buddhist doctrine to ensure you do not miss out on future uploads and information. The second truth explains that suffering arises from attachment and craving. We become attached to things, relationships, material possessions, even our own identities, believing they'll bring lasting happiness. However, everything in life is impermanent. When we attach ourselves to something temporary, we inevitably suffer when it changes or disappears. Think of moments in your life when you felt the deepest pain: a broken relationship, the loss of a loved one, a dream that didn't come true. Often, the suffering stems not just from the event itself, but from our resistance to it. We wish things had turned out differently, we cling to memories, we refuse to accept change. This resistance deepens our pain. Buddhism teaches that easing suffering doesn't involve avoidance or suppression, but understanding and letting go. This brings us to the third and fourth noble truths: there is a way to end suffering, and that way is the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path is a comprehensive set of guiding principles that help us live with wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. But before we dive into solutions, we must first acknowledge where we are. Imagine standing in a dark room. If you try to fight the darkness, nothing changes. But if you turn on a light, everything becomes clear. Recognizing suffering is like turning on that light. It allows us to see our reality and take the first step toward freedom. So, what does all this have to do with "Let It Be"? The song reminds us that in moments of difficulty, wisdom whispers, accept what is, let go of what was, and trust in what will be. Buddhism offers the same message: instead of resisting pain, we acknowledge it; instead of clinging to what we can't control, we release it. By understanding suffering and its causes, we begin to break free from the cycles of pain that trap us. As we continue on this journey, we'll explore how to truly embrace impermanence, cultivate mindfulness, and live with a heart that's open, free, and at peace. Please let us know in the comments what you think. Now, let's delve deeper into the nature of impermanence. If there's one undeniable truth about life, it's that everything changes. The seasons shift, people come and go, our thoughts and emotions rise and fall like waves in the ocean. Yet, despite knowing this, we often resist change. We hold on to moments, relationships, and even our own identities, hoping they will remain the same. When they don't, we suffer. In Buddhism, this concept is known as anicca, the understanding that nothing is fixed, permanent, or unchanging. It's not just an abstract idea, it's the very nature of reality. The tree that stands tall today will one day wither. The joy we feel in one moment may turn into sadness in the next. Our own bodies, which we often take for granted, are constantly aging, cell by cell, breath by breath. But if impermanence is so natural, why do we struggle with it? The answer lies in attachment. We crave stability, certainty, and control. We build our lives around routines, relationships, and possessions, believing they'll bring us lasting happiness. But when things inevitably change, when a loved one leaves, when our youth fades, when life takes an unexpected turn, we feel lost, as if the ground beneath us has disappeared. The Buddha compared life to a flowing river. We often try to grasp onto the water, but no matter how tightly we hold on, it slips through our fingers. The more we resist the current, the more exhausted we become. But when we learn to move with the flow instead of against it, we find peace. This is where "Let It Be" aligns so beautifully with Buddhist wisdom. The song doesn't tell us to force things to be different or to cling to what's already past. It simply whispers, accept the flow of life. Instead of fearing change, we can embrace it. Instead of grieving what's lost, we can appreciate what was and open ourselves to what comes next. One of the most liberating realizations in Buddhism is that impermanence is not something to be feared, it's what makes life precious. Are these lessons and concepts bringing clarity and purpose to your life? If so, please like and subscribe to the channel, and share this video with others who may also benefit from its wisdom. If everything were permanent, there would be no growth, no evolution, no new experiences. The fleeting nature of things is what gives them beauty. A sunset is breathtaking precisely because it doesn't last forever. A song moves us because it has an ending. A deep conversation with a loved one is meaningful because we know that time is limited. So, how do we apply this understanding to daily life? When faced with change, instead of resisting it, ask, what can I learn from this? When experiencing joy, fully immerse yourself in the moment, knowing that it is temporary, and that's what makes it beautiful. When dealing with loss, remind yourself that nothing truly disappears, it simply transforms. The people we love live on in our memories, our actions, and the impact they had on us. By embracing impermanence, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We stop clinging to the past or worrying about the future, and instead, we learn to live fully in the present. As we continue, we'll explore how letting go of attachment doesn't mean becoming indifferent, it means opening ourselves to life with a sense of freedom and peace. Practicing non-attachment. If impermanence is the nature of life, then why do we continue to suffer? The answer lies in attachment. We cling to things, relationships, material possessions, even our own beliefs, hoping they will remain the same. When they inevitably change, we experience pain. This is where the practice of non-attachment becomes essential. In Buddhist philosophy, non-attachment is often misunderstood. Many believe it means cutting ourselves off emotionally, living without love, or abandoning all desires. But in reality, non-attachment isn't about rejecting life, it's about engaging with it fully without clinging. It means loving without possessing, working without obsessing, and living without fearing loss. It's the ability to hold everything in life with open hands rather than clenched fists. Why do we cling? The mind seeks control. We believe that if we hold on to something tightly enough, we can prevent loss, pain, or change. This is why people fear endings, whether it's the end of a relationship, a phase of life, or even their own existence. Think about the times you've held on to something long after it was meant to go, a job that no longer fulfilled you, a relationship that had run its course, or an idea of yourself that no longer aligned with who you were becoming. The more you clung to it, the more suffering you created. This is where Buddhism invites us to shift our perspective. Instead of seeing non-attachment as losing something, we can see it as gaining freedom. When we stop clinging, we allow life to flow naturally. We begin to experience things as they are rather than through the lens of fear, desire, or expectation. Another reason we struggle with attachment is that we believe we own things, our possessions, our achievements, even other people. But in truth, we don't own anything, not even our own bodies. Everything we have is borrowed from the universe, temporarily passing through our lives. Consider this: the home you live in, the clothes you wear, and the phone in your hand will all one day belong to someone else. Even the relationships we cherish are not truly ours. The people in our lives are here by their own choice, not because we have a claim over them. When we understand this, we begin to interact with the world differently. We stop trying to possess people and instead appreciate them. We stop obsessing over wealth and instead use it wisely. We stop resisting change and instead embrace it as a natural part of life. One of the most powerful applications of non-attachment is in our relationships. Love, when mixed with attachment, often turns into possession or fear. We become afraid of losing someone, so we try to control them. We expect them to act a certain way, fulfill our needs, or never change. But real love is not about possession, it's about freedom. The Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free." This means loving without expecting anything in return. It means allowing others to be themselves rather than trying to mold them into who we want them to be. It means appreciating every moment with someone without fearing the future. Imagine a bird landing on your hand. If you try to hold on to it, it will struggle and eventually fly away. But if you let it rest freely, it may choose to stay for a while. Love works the same way. The tighter we grip, the more we suffocate it. The more we let go, the more it can grow. Enjoy what you have, but don't let it define you. Use possessions without being possessed by them. Love fully, but don't expect permanence. Cherish the time you have with someone, knowing that all relationships change. Give your best effort, but don't attach your self-worth to the outcome. Recognize that everything in life is temporary, including achievements and setbacks. Observe them as they come and go without identifying with them. You are not your thoughts, you are the awareness behind them. Please comment and subscribe if you find these concepts helpful. This practice doesn't mean we stop caring, it means we stop suffering unnecessarily. It means we shift from a mindset of holding on to one of flowing with life. Let it be, and non-attachment is where "let it be" perfectly aligns with Buddhist wisdom. The song doesn't say, "force it to be," or "make it be." It simply says, "let it be." This is the essence of non-attachment. When life brings pain, instead of resisting it, we acknowledge it. When things change, instead of fighting it, we adapt. When we love, instead of clinging, we appreciate. By practicing non-attachment, we don't become cold or indifferent, we become free. We engage with life more deeply, love more fully, and experience peace that's not dependent on circumstances. As we move forward, we'll explore another key ingredient in this journey: patience and acceptance, the ability to trust the unfolding of life even when things don't go as planned. In a world that moves faster every day, patience is often seen as a luxury. We want immediate answers, instant results, and quick solutions to our problems. But life doesn't always work that way. No matter how much we try to control events, delays happen, challenges arise, and things often take longer than we expect. Buddhism teaches that patience and acceptance are essential for inner peace. The more we resist the natural flow of life, the more suffering we create for ourselves. Instead of constantly struggling against reality, we can learn to embrace it as it is. At the root of impatience is attachment to expectations. We have a mental image of how things should be, how fast we should succeed, how quickly people should change, and how soon we should get what we want. When reality doesn't match our expectations, we become frustrated. Think about the last time you felt impatient. Maybe you were stuck in traffic, waiting for a response from someone, or struggling with personal growth. What was really causing your frustration? It wasn't the situation itself, but your desire for it to be different. Impatience is a form of resistance. It's the mind saying, "This moment isn't good enough, I need the next one to be better." But when we live this way, we are constantly waiting for happiness instead of experiencing it. Please subscribe to the channel to not miss any of the content. One of the greatest teachings in Buddhism is that suffering comes not from what happens but from our resistance to it. When we resist reality, we create inner turmoil. When we accept things as they are, we find peace. This doesn't mean we stop striving for change or improvement, it simply means that instead of fighting against what is, we learn to work with it. Take, for example, the frustration of waiting in line. You have two choices: resist the situation, get angry, check your phone repeatedly, complain in your mind. Does it make the line move faster? No. It only makes you suffer more. Accept the situation. Use the time to breathe, observe your surroundings, or simply relax. The external situation hasn't changed, but your experience of it has. Now, apply this to bigger things in life: a delayed goal, a challenging relationship, or a difficult personal struggle. The more we resist, the more we suffer. When we accept, we open the door to peace and clarity. One of the hardest places to practice patience is with ourselves. We all want to grow, improve, and overcome our struggles. But deep change takes time. A person overcoming fear cannot force themselves to be brave overnight. A meditator cannot expect instant peace the first time they sit in silence. A person healing from emotional pain cannot rush the process. True transformation happens gradually, just as a tree grows slowly from a seed. Personal growth unfolds in its own time. Rushing the process only creates frustration. Instead of demanding immediate results, we can learn to trust that everything happens at the right pace. This trust is the foundation of patience. These words from Let It Be remind us that even in difficult times, there is peace available if we let go of resistance. The song does not tell us to cling, to force, or to control, it simply tells us to release. This aligns perfectly with Buddhist wisdom. Sometimes, the best thing we can do is stop fighting and allow life to unfold naturally. Not every problem needs an immediate solution, not every challenge needs to be controlled. When we learn to let things be, we create space for clarity and wisdom to arise. When frustration arises, take slow, deep breaths. This calms the nervous system and reminds you that there is no rush. Shift your perspective. Instead of seeing delays as obstacles, see them as opportunities to practice peace. Observe instead of reacting. The next time you feel impatient, simply notice it without acting on it. Often, awareness itself is enough to create a shift. Set goals, but release the idea that they must happen exactly when you expect them to. Trust that life unfolds at the right time. Just as a flower blooms when it is ready, your life will unfold in perfect timing. By practicing patience, we align with the natural rhythm of life. Instead of resisting it, we stop rushing through the present moment and instead learn to live fully in it. In the next chapter, we'll explore the key to staying present: mindfulness, the ability to experience each moment without attachment or resistance. We spend so much of our lives lost in thought, rehashing the past, worrying about the future, or distracting ourselves from the present moment. But true peace, clarity, and wisdom can only be found here and now. Buddhism teaches that mindfulness, the practice of being fully present, is the key to breaking free from suffering and experiencing life as it truly is. Have you ever noticed how often your mind pulls you away from the present moment? You might be eating a meal, but instead of tasting the food, you're thinking about what you need to do later. You might be listening to a friend, but instead of really hearing them, your mind is planning what you'll say next. This constant mental noise keeps us disconnected from reality. We live in our thoughts rather than in the world around us, and when our thoughts are filled with worries, regrets, or judgments, we suffer unnecessarily. Mindfulness transforms our experience of life in 3 key ways. It breaks the cycle of automatic reactions. Instead of reacting impulsively to situations, mindfulness allows us to pause and respond with wisdom. It reduces suffering. When we stop fighting reality and simply observe what is happening, even difficult emotions become easier to handle. It deepens our appreciation for life. The simple act of being fully present turns ordinary moments into something extraordinary. Eating mindfully instead of rushing through a meal, notice the taste, texture, and aroma of your food. When listening mindfully, give your full attention when someone speaks, listen not just to their words but to their emotions. Breathing mindfully, take a deep breath and feel the air entering and leaving your body. This simple act can bring you back to the present moment. If you like and subscribe, you will never miss an opportunity for growth and inspiration. Mindfulness isn't about changing your life, it's about fully experiencing the life you already have. The lyrics of Let It Be invite us to embrace the present moment as it is. They don't say overanalyze it, fix it immediately, or stress about it, they simply say let it be. When we practice mindfulness, we stop resisting reality. Instead of being lost in thought, we become fully engaged with what is happening right now. The past is gone, we cannot change it. The future is uncertain, we cannot control it. The present is all we have and it is enough. By learning to be here now, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We stop getting caught in regrets or anxieties and instead find peace in simply experiencing life. In the next chapter, we will explore an even deeper level of this practice: renunciation, the art of letting go of what no longer serves us. We're almost there. If this has been helpful, please like and subscribe to encourage me to keep creating content that helps everyone get through life happy.